because as a country, as I said, there used to be 154 national schools. Now there are 255 Category 1 schools. About 280 something extra county schools. Right now there are 711 Category 2 schools. So as a country, we are expanding more.
We have Mike on studio, and we want to talk about the CBC pathways. I think we've discussed this in a previous episode, but today let's listen from have a deeper analysis of this conversation. The CBC pathways is a conversation that is confusing, it's alarming, it's at a point of conflict for a lot of parents. We do not know what is supposed to happen, so for teachers too. Perhaps if we get this conversation going with an expert, we can be able to really dive deeper into it and see whether there are things that we may be able to unpack in this conversation. So welcome back to Elimu Cafe. My name is Teacher Lea. And once again, I'm here with Mike Kipkorir Bill, who is the founder and team leader of the CBC app. And we want to ask him some few questions of how, the way you can tell someone, explain it to me like I'm an idiot, like an idiot's guide to the senior or the pathway or the senior secondary conversation. That's what I hope we can be able to get today. And welcome back, Mike, for this conversation.
Yep.
So this one, I just want to ask you questions like, think about it in the most simple, stupid way possible. Because even me, I'm struggling with it as a teacher. I've read about it, but I'm still not able to see whether are we getting it wrong or maybe are we overthinking it. Yeah. The first question I want to ask you is, what are these pathways? How did you understand these pathways? Yeah. Let's start there.
Okay.
And where do we start with this pathway conversation?
Yeah. To me, I'd go for simplifying things even further. So let's go back to what we know already. So we all, or many of us, went from grade 8 or standard 8 into Form
1.
So what happened between standard 8 and Form 1? What did you do?
We had an exam and then we waited to be called into schools.
Yeah. But you chose the schools?
Yes.
So you chose schools?
Yes.
What kind of schools did you choose?
We did. You were supposed to choose nationals, provincial. That time we didn't have like the counties. Yes. But I know now there's also county and sub-county.
So now for the people, that's after 2014, 2015, they did national schools, extra county schools, county schools.
Oh yeah, there was extra county.
Like that.
Yeah.
Which is more or less similar to what we had before, which was just national, provincial.
Yes, district. And was there anything else? Yes, division, yeah.
So, once again, you've just seen classifications of schools. So schools were classified into certain categories.
Yeah.
So what you did between class 8 and Form 1 was to choose the school.
Yes.
Then you went into school. How many subjects did you do in Form 1?
I had to do 3 sciences, all languages, a social science, 1 or 2, and then agriculture or
so total roughly 13, 14?
13, yes, 13 to 14.
13 to 14
at the
subjects.
beginning in Form 1, yes.
So Form 1, Form 2, you did about 13 subjects.
Yes.
Then what happened at the end of Form 2 going into Form 3?
Actually, for us, it was end of Form 1 going into Form 2, but I know what you mean.
Fine.
We were asked to drop the subjects that we feel we are not, are not aligning, either we're not doing well in, or we feel like it's not our interest.
So you had to drop those subjects.
Yes.
And you remained with how many?
I think it was 8. Was it 8? Yes, 8 with one.
7 minimum?
Yes, with one, with the last one being an option to help you with your grades. Yes.
So, okay. So now the only thing that has changed right now is you are choosing the school and deciding the subjects at the same time. That's it. Before, you were choosing the school fast.
Then when you get to the school, you choose the subject.
Then you choose the subjects that you'll specialize in. So the only thing that has changed
is the
choosing
combination of tasks
and choosing the subject at the same time.
Yeah.
Let's begin by understanding it that way. So if we begin by understanding it that way, we take away that things are very different these days.
Yes.
They're not different.
It's the same.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, let's go to the schools. We had national schools, extra county schools,
sub-county schools. Yes.
For those of our age, national schools,
district.
They were classified differently, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, right now, these schools have been classified further. So into categories which they call C1 to C4, which is basically category 1, category 2, 3, and 4.
Yes.
And the categorizations have been created in much the same way the previous categorizations were. The reason a national school was the resources it has and its unique positioning, history, prestige, and all sorts of factors. So right now, we have a similar categorization, but this categorization has been done in terms of the kind of education that people can access when they go there. I'm really trying to avoid the word pathways. Okay, I'll get there. Okay, okay. Depending on the kind of education you can get there. So let me be cliche here. If you go to a school like Alliance, which we know is a national school, you'll find that it has very many things there. You can do power mechanics, drawing and design, electricity, maybe metalwork, besides all the other things, physics, chemistry. You can do all, very many things.
Yeah.
So you see, it can offer a very diverse kind of education
compared to people.
Yeah. So in CBC right now, what you're not being asked to choose in terms of pathways, etc., is really simple. If you look at the timetable of senior school, which is grade 10, where these people are going, it just has 8 subjects in total. 4 of them are compulsory. Okay? So there's mathematics, which again, you can do 2 types of mathematics. Okay? So there's 2 types of mathematics.
Yeah.
There's English, there's Kiswahili or Kenya Sign Language, and physical education. 4 compulsory only.
What about community service?
Things changed a bit.
Things
changed. As of last week, actually.
Yeah, you see?
As of last week, actually, things changed. Before, the compulsory ones were community service learning, physical education, English, and then either Kiswahili or Kenya Sign Language.
Yes.
Those were the 4 compulsory. But now, you remember the hue and cry that was there?
Yes.
Well back.
Formats, yeah.
So some changes have been made. If you go to the KICD website right now, Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, and look at the grade 11 and grade 12 curriculum designs that are there right now, which were uploaded literally last week. Okay? You'll find that this change has been effected, where you now have 2 choices of mathematics, between what they call essential mathematics,
yes,
and what they call core mathematics. Even though when you read the document, it just says mathematics. Okay, but let's use the terms they've used, which is essential and core. Again, I find that naming a bit strange, but let's just say 2 types of mathematics.
Let's say 2. You pick accordingly.
English, Kiswahili or sign language, and physical education. 4 compulsory. You cannot get away from it, irrespective of who you are. Those 4. So meaning, the only choice you have is of 3 subjects. You're just choosing 3 subjects. The 3 subjects you choose will dictate which pathway you're pursuing. So not necessarily the other way around. The 3 subjects you choose. So if you choose home science, biology, and computer science together, see, I've picked very odd things there. Home science, biology, and computer science. You might find yourself in maybe the applied science pathway. If you pick building and construction, agriculture, and chemistry, you might find yourself in the technical studies pathway. If you pick computer science, mathematics, and sports and recreation, you might find yourself in the sports science track of the arts and sports science pathway. Okay? So the only decision children have to make is to pick 3 subjects. And the 3 subjects they pick is what will dictate the pathway they've been placed.
All right.
So there are a possible 538 subject combinations you can pick. Those 3. Okay. Yeah. So really the main thing to be done by the students right now is to pick the 3 subjects that they want to do when they enter grade 10 and the school they want to go into when they enter grade 10. It's honestly as simple as that, as far as a concept. So where the complications come is now which one do I choose? And which school do I go to? The category 1 schools, the national schools used to be about 150. Right now there are 255 category 1 schools. The extra county schools were roughly 280. Right now, there are 711 category 2 schools. The category 3 schools before were very many. I don't remember the number. The provincial schools the county schools were so many. Right now, there are about 1,300 category 3 schools. Then about 7,200 category 4 schools, which are just day schools. Okay.
And you said these are based on the resources that they have
Correct.
to be able to offer these particular tracks or pathways in one way or another.
Yeah.
All right.
So you find, for example, a certain school might not offer aviation, but aviation is there
All right.
in the curriculum.
Okay.
So you can pick aviation, computer science, and physics.
All right.
In a school that can offer that. Yeah.
So take me through this as, let's assume there's this child X that I am. And I am at that point, I have just completed my grade 9 assessments, or I'm about to do the grade 9 assessments because the selection is supposed to happen before. What exactly am I looking at in terms of what documentation will I be given? Or what kind of, what will be put on the table for me to do to enable me to understand what this is about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I am there. I'm a typical teenager. I've gone through my, remember this, I think I'm around 13 at this point. My mom is fairly involved in my day-to-day academic life and follows up on my, let's say it's a standard. Let's put it from a standard point of view. I have a family that supports my academic journey, and I have a teacher who kind of gets what's happening, and they've been giving us this, like, you guys have to select subjects. So what exactly, like on a happy path, what am I getting? What is being put on the table?
So in other words, you have enough support and guidance.
Yes. So what is it that I will get? What is it that what kind of document will I get that shows this C1? What is expected? What is the journey going to be for me in filling these forms or selecting these pathways? And
so at the end of the day, you'll pick whatever you pick on the paper, but it depends on the kind of information you get to support you. So as a school or the people around you, they can give you an analysis based on your previous academic data. That, let's say, for example, for pure science, there are certain subjects which are needed for you to join pure science. Like mathematics matters, integrated science. Those are the subjects you do in grade 7, 8,
and 9.
Those ones matter more than anything else
for you to select a particular
pure science, like that.
Yeah.
So you'll be given some kind of an analysis that will sort of point you in that direction. Your school should be able to organize that. As in, it's called cluster points. They create the cluster of subjects that is best suited for that. So that you can be given that. Ministry also recommends that you do a psychometric test, which is basically just poking at your interest. What are you interested in? And most psychometric tests of this type should really be able to determine your aptitude and your interest. Okay, personality, not so much according to me, but more of your attitude and your aptitude and your interest. So if you do a psychometric test, it can also point that maybe you have an interest in STEM or applied science or pure science, but your aptitude is low based on the psychometric test you do. If you combine those two pieces of information together with the analysis of your academic data, you can have a rough idea where you should go.
All right.
But still, that is not the determining factor. The determining factor is still you as an individual and the kind of desires you have and the way you see yourself in future. And the reason why all this, and the reason why we choose these things, and it's a big deal in this country, is simply because we have constrained resources a bit, which is not something to tell the children, really, but it's something that practically, there are only 711 category 2 schools. There are only 255 category 1 schools out of 1 million children who do the grade 9 exams. So you see, there's a constraint in resources. That's why people will compete for spaces there. And that's why the school you choose dictates how you go. So that conversation will be less and less of an issue, because as a country, as I said, there used to be 154 national schools. Now there are 255 category 1 schools. About 280 something extra county schools. Right now there are 711 category 2 schools. So as a country, we are expanding more. In the same way we had when I joined university, I think there were about 6 universities or something.
Yeah.
Now there are 72 or something like that. A huge number. So we are expanding access to higher quality.
And how many schools am I supposed to select in C1?
A total of 12.
From all through and through C1 to C4?
To C4.
Okay.
So the way to think about it is this. Out of the 12, start by removing 3 C4 schools. Those are just the day schools you'll go to that are near home.
Yes.
Those are C4 schools.
Okay.
So just start by removing those ones. Then you remain with 9.
All right.
Remove another 3 for schools that have to be in your county.
So within the C1 to C3, you pick schools that are within your country.
Within your county.
In whatever cluster they are in.
Yes.
All right.
Remove another 3 that are within your county.
Yes.
Then you're left with
6.
Then you now
have to pick now.
Pick from there.
All
now,
right.
the exact way it will work, I would say, let's see how the government's platform of selection
is going
actually
to
allows.
Yeah, okay.
But in essence, that's what the discussion is. Maybe by the time we do another recording, we'll have known how exactly the government's platform for allowing this will look like.
Right.
But in essence, just remove the day schools you'll go to and remove another 3 from your county.
Okay.
Then thereafter, you select. And you start by picking 3 potential subject combinations you want. Like you can see for me, I'm terribly interested in aviation, in computers, and in physics.
Okay.
That's my top priority. That becomes your pathway and track choice 1.
And you said how many tracks? Like how many combinations are?
Possible combinations, about 538.
All right. So there are these 538 combinations that
which have been grouped
into pathways.
Into the various pathways.
Okay. So let me now take you back to that conversation and as you said, this is the ideal situation that this child understands what you've said right now, either themselves or through a proxy, which is their parent or a representative, either a teacher, an uncle, someone in their world understands what this is and they guide them. The other assumption is that this child, throughout their academic journey, at the point at which they're getting to this grade 9, they have an understanding of who they are as a person. Like they do not have serious identity crisis or any shifts or whatever, and they're able to pick onto a particular... The other assumption is that this child is well equipped to perform a psychometric test one way or another through, as I said, through their parents, through the school, through whatever support system they have. And also, the other assumption is that this child has only one line of interest where they're picking in only a particular track. So that is how it seems as though this whole journey is going to look like, the ideal situation. So, as I said, child X knows what to do. They've been given feedback. They've done their assessments in school. They have been exposed to one way or another, either through conversations like career talks or practically to majority of these 536 options available. Because when that is possible, that's when you're able to pick a choice.
Yes.
You've been exposed. And for example, I remember reading about this guy, I think he's called Makalalui in South Africa. And he was saying whatever he was doing, I think they were playing somewhere. And then someone passed by with this like cricket bat and introduced him to cricket. So he would never in his life have known about cricket, sport, probably. Maybe now with internet and those are different. But so now let's shift focus from that child who does not have this ideal happy path that we've talked about. Like when you're creating products or whatever, when you're designing a product, you have this flowchart. And this is a flowchart that everything is yes, right? There's yes, everything.
Exactly.
Now, let's go back to the reality of what most people are experiencing. The key thing being that I want to talk about today is, one, children who are literally 12 years, they've joined grade 7. This is now, let's talk even about the child of 2025. This is a child who is a COVID baby. They did COVID out. They were the guinea pigs of this conversation. They went back to school. I remember to test whether COVID is whether we're okay to go back to school. They've done this whole journey. They've gone to grade 7. I don't even want to delve into the grade 7, 8, and 9 curriculum in itself, because it's been changing faster than we can say hallelujah. Even as you said right now, something is changing probably. Someone's probably typing something different. So with that being said, what do you feel is something you can tell. And that's like, let's even talk about let me talk about the scenarios now so that you can maybe help us understand. And there are multiple scenarios, but let's start with the one where this child does not understand what you've said. That's number one. And this child, I mean the child and his or her entire ecosystem.
Yeah.
So this parent is clueless. Everything is clueless. What is the likely pathway, or what is not pathway? I don't mean this pathway is here, but
Correct.
what is the likelihood? Yes, of this child. Yes, let's look at those scenarios in that.
Yeah. So, so what will play out is, of course, the default options that everybody will fall back to. That's what will play out. Let me answer that by continuing with the learner who has all the information.
Yeah.
This learner who has all the information and everything, that's the best. So at the end of the day, I picked that I want to do aviation, computer science, and physics. So the system does its thing.
Yeah.
And in the selection, they threw me into a school.
Yeah.
Where they neither have computers nor aviation.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm now doing animal husbandry in Chogyo.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. In a C3 school.
And they throw me in a school.
Yeah.
Even a C1 school.
Yes. Or
That because that's just a subject that might not have computers and aviation.
Yeah.
What happens? So what happens is what happens to all of us.
Yeah.
For me, for example, during my campus days, I totally qualified for mechatronic engineering, but I was told, you know what? Bachelor of Science General with the possibility of branching off to computer science later.
Yeah.
For you, I remember your story.
Mine was low.
You found yourself in Kilifi.
I found myself in Kilifi studying Bachelor of Education in Early Childhood, and I was like, what is this, my Lord? Jesus, what did I do to offend you?
Against what you choose.
Yeah.
Now, that's a reality that I would really like us to accept and confront as a country, as a country we live in. Where even that child with the best information, in the best private school, who got the best marks and everything, might still not be placed where they wanted. So this system tries its best to really stretch out to give you that chance. That's why your category, your first choice pathway and track, you're given 7 schools to choose from. Out of the 12 you're choosing, 7 should belong to that. So that it tries its best to
give you that chance to have to at least get that which
to hopefully avoid stories like yours and mine.
Yes, and of course expanding even the number of schools that are offering those possible pathways as well.
So the most important thing I want to encourage is resilience and flexibility. When we get to that point. Now, because this is the other scenario that will happen. Somebody might have chosen aviation, computer, and physics. End up in a school where they're doing aviation, computer, and physics. When they reach there, they're like, nope.
Can never be me.
I prefer sports and recreation, agriculture, and home science. And they will change while they're there.
So it's possible to change.
It will be a possibility, definitely.
Oh, that's the question we need.
It will be a possibility.
Yes.
It will be a possibility. We have not reached grade 10 to see that playing out, but to me it's common sense. That you're going to receive students
who will not,
types, and things will change.
They idealized a particular pathway and now they are there and they're thinking, oh no, this can't be.
And how I know this, we as adults, you studied this, you're doing that. All as in it will happen. You'll see the change. You might not change every year, but the ones you eventually start with in grade 10 are the ones that you'll go on with.
All right.
So what I'm urging is the flexibility and the resilience and adaptability that we all need because we are all competing for a finite resource.
And is that why then there is no particular school that is offering strictly one pathway? Could it be that is the reasoning? That you find that all schools are offering STEM, or has that changed also? Plus another one, so that when you're in there and you decide, okay, wait a minute, maybe I would like to try out. I'm very good at this, let's say, pure sciences, but I'd really be interested to see how sports will look like for me in the future. And I think you're right. There is a possibility that you can be allowed to have like majors and minors. Remember that conversation where you're majoring in maths, but you're taking like let's say business as a minor. And I hope that that's something that they do. Because I feel like for me, my biggest worry is when we remove this whole conversation, I'm left with the question that I'm left with is a 12-year-old child because the child isn't it? That's 12.
older than that.
It's 12 is 6. So 7 is 13, 14. So they have 12, 13, 14. They're going through junior secondary or junior school.
So it's a 15, 16 year.
So it's a 15, 16, 17 situation. But let's even look at it from a psychosocial point of view. What is their crisis at that point? Most of these children are going through what we call identity crisis. Everyone talks about the characteristics of teenagehood and all the, the issues that it comes with, not just bad, but also good. But then are we really then putting that pivotal question to these children at this level, knowing what we know in child development theories and even in realistic observation and even longitudinal studies and all the things that people have done, where everybody says that at this stage, the child is questioning their entire existence altogether. People who've talked about characteristics of teenagers and young adults, was it really a good point of selection?
Yeah.
Or should we maybe have looked at this thing differently and said, okay, fine, why don't we, as you said, why don't we go back to that conversation around you get some stuff from STEM, get some stuff from sports and arts and sports sciences, get some stuff from social studies. Just the same way we were doing it in the 844, right? Yeah. And then now you have a bigger selection. And as you keep growing, you can be given opportunities to drop. So you have this bag of bricks, and all these bricks are all these learning areas. But as you keep on improving and then curate experiences around a better career guidance, and then along the way, you're allowed to drop or pick a different stool. You know what I mean? Because then, because then are we just going to ignore the reality of a teenage child, especially in this day and age, especially in social media right now, where children are battling issues of sexuality, they're battling issues of, just identifying who they are. Actually, it's just an entire identity crisis. And then you're telling them, okay, here is a list of 536 options for you. Please do this. You have to pick. Out of these ones, pick 3. Because you said you're supposed to pick 3. The rest you've already been picked for.
Yeah.
Now pick these 3. And when you pick them, you have to pick schools, 3 schools within your county.
Yeah.
And this you have to pick day.
Yeah.
This is a child who's probably being abused at home. There are so many dynamics to this conversation. And I'm being told, but no, don't worry. You can still pick these 7 within you. But even as adults, me in my old age, I'm not able to grasp and marinate all this. Are we really expecting, and this is not to say that they are dumb, but are we really expecting a child in that level to be conceptualizing this and actually making a firm decision about their, what they're going to do? Yeah. And I think you're right. Maybe this has been answered by the flexibility that you are assuming will be introduced at, remember, as you said, it's an assumption. What do you think about that in terms of when you look at it? Yes, it's happened, but did it have to happen that way? And are there opportunities for it to be rectified or to be improved? Let me say improved, because it's a work in progress. Yeah.
So you need to remember that there's precedence to all this.
Yeah.
This has been seen before. It's happened before. Even as a country, we had this system before. A similar system. In other countries and other jurisdictions, it's there. Certainly, there is always going to be room and opportunity to study the long-term effects of certain decisions and approaches, as you've said. Remember also that why we engineered this whole senior secondary versus junior secondary issue was to try and tackle exactly that whole thing of the big bag of bricks that you have to drop at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember when people were losing their minds, so to speak, about, do you mean there's no mathematics in grade 10? What has become of our education?
Yes.
But you're forgetting that these are people who've done mathematics for 11 years already. Grade 1 to 9, PP1, PP2. 11 years.
Yeah, it's 11
mathematics.
years actually, yeah.
If that mathematics was not working for that person, it's not going to work.
In grade 10
to 12.
For sure.
Okay?
For sure.
They've had enough. And most of us to date as adults, even me with my mathematics and computer science degree, 90% of the time I use arithmetic. Add, subtract, divide, multiply.
Yep.
That's it. Algebra, yes, a bit here and there, which by the grade 9, they've, learned quite a bit of it.
Absolutely.
So it's more than sufficient. Even, so yes, I do understand. I accept that they needed to introduce mathematics back in grade 10. Good thing overall. But what I'm saying is, the crisis of teenagehood, and is this the right time and the right choices, etc. I'm trying to say, I think it's part of life. Yes, this is the time where this has to be chosen. I think the bigger challenge is to we as adults, and we as the ones who are managing the ecosystems in which these children are, to make sure that the environments are safe enough, good enough, there's sufficient guidance. So I think this is more of a challenge to us than to the teenager, that we must have environments and circumstances that can accommodate all the evolutionary feelings and identity crisis and all those things that a teenager has, to still get them to make the right choice. In fact, I dare say, you do require to be in an identity crisis to make certain choices, because you really can question things. You really can say, you know, what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of me pursuing this path? Maybe that's the right time, you know. So I don't know, maybe I don't know how deeply philosophical this should be, but I'm looking at it for me from the very pragmatic view, that this is the time to make the choice. And these choices have to be made for you to progress.
Yeah.
And these are the circumstances in our country, in terms of these are the schools available. And this is where we are. So how do we make the best use of what we have right now? So maybe I'm looking at it more that way, and maybe less now from what is certainly a real issue, but harder to catch in every individual, and to really make sure that it's harnessed right. I think the bigger challenge is we as adults to just provide all this guidance. So now, if you realize, in the grade 7s to 9s, I really like that I'm hearing a lot of discussions about careers, etc. I'm hearing people saying, can our students come and do job shadowing?
Yeah.
They come and see what a cloud engineer does. I like that. Can you come and talk to our children about the different careers available in finance? You know, and all those things. So people are doing more and more of that to exactly try to get children into the frame of mind, to use the cricket analogy you give. By talking to children about finance, we're hopefully giving somebody a cricket bat of finance.
Yeah, to be able to see that.
By talking to people about cloud engineering, you're hopefully giving somebody a cricket bat of cloud engineering.
Yeah.
For them to like see the world in that whole new way. So yeah, I think we just have to be pragmatic also.